Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the Y'all Dirty podcast. I am your host, Sarah, professional organizer who also does cleaning and packing in the Indianapolis area as well as in Nashville, Tennessee. With me is my sound engineer, Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Are you excited about this?
Very.
I'm very. I know. I can see it on your face. So today I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking about what this podcast is and more importantly, what it is not. So despite the name, this podcast does not feature explicit adult content. And trust me, Eric has already voiced his displeasure with this.
This is true.
But that's not what we're about. Instead, we will be discussing all things dirty when it comes to our homes, hygiene, and anything really that gets under our skin. Eric, do you agree?
Yes.
All right. So with that said, Eric, do you want to go ahead and play our first clip?
Sure. Do you want to give him context about this?
No, not at all.
Okay, we're just going to let it rip.
We're going to let it rip.
How do you think this is your towel? Do you even wash it?
No, I don't wash the towel. The towel washes me. Who washes a towel?
You never wash.
You wash your towel?
You never wash the towel?
What am I gonna do? Wash the shower next? Wash a bar of soap? You gotta think here, pal.
Nice.
Nice. So that is the show The New Girl. Have you ever seen it with Zoe Deschanel? Probably not.
Well, I saw I saw a minute of it when you sent me the clip, and it was terrible. But that little piece definitely applies to the episode.
Yes. And that was actually, I was excited about that. It was almost like a gift for me when it comes to this topic, because in the episode, it's basically they're all roommates and they've got their towels. And the one character, I don't really watch this show, but obviously watch this episode. And he's constantly frustrated because every time he gets out of the shower, his towel is damp. He hasn't used it. So he goes through this whole thing with the roommates about, there's too many people in the bathroom. Someone unplugged my dehumidifier to plug in their flat iron, and now my towel's damp. And so the clip that we hear is where he actually finds out that his other roommate has been using that towel, and they both have been rubbing their stuff.
Giblets? Some giblet drying?
You could call it that, yeah. So have you ever been in a situation, whether it's a roommate or a family member, where you find out that someone's been using your towel?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Do you
feel like this is a safe space to talk about?
Sure. One of your old roommates, his middle name is Matt, so I call him Matt just to irritate him.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we definitely used the same towel a few times.
But did you know that you were using the same towel?
It was kind of an emergency situation. So, yeah.
Okay, what constitutes an emergency?
Well, we were living in the apartments, so there is no closet in there. You're out of the shower. There's people there. You got to dry off and get dressed.
Okay. So you're saying that there were other people around? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Like in the living room, just a little apartment.
Okay. So there's no bathroom door?
Right. Well, I don't want to get dressed wet, go out, get a towel, come back in.
Oh, okay. So you did keep your towels outside of the bathroom? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that brings up a good question. So so when you go to take a shower, you didn't have a hook or a place where you're actually hanging your towel?
Right. There was just the one towel, and there was Dan's. I forgot mine. So.
Okay.
Now, we did have the decency when that happened. We just take it with us. It went into the laundry.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure some of those other dirtbags living in the building were not following the same policy.
Okay.
So I just try not to think about it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, is that it's funny because, so just a little bit of background about what I do. I'm a professional organizer. However, I do a lot of cleaning. I am in people's spaces all the time, and I kind of see how they live. And so that was kind of the whole background to starting this, was not to shame anyone, but to bring awareness as to how dirty y'all are. Like, it's
all the nasty stuff that you've seen.
Yes. And really, as I'm helping people and as we're decluttering and as we're, kind of cleaning up their messes, I noticed a lot of people have the same patterns, the same habits. They do a lot of the same things that really, are kind of, I guess, accepted by most people. Like people, it's like, well, I do that too. So,
How about some examples?
Okay.
Let's hear it.
What examples for me? I thought you were going to give me examples.
Well, no. I mean, you're out and you're seeing all these people doing the similar things.
Gotcha.
So
you had that look on your face like you had a story.
Oh, I'm sure
I was just
that
waiting
I do.
for this story. No, so okay. So the first topic we're going to talk about today is the bath towel. Now, really, we're also going to involve the bath mat, the washcloth, anything that has to do, and the hand towel, anything that has to do in the bathroom. So you asked me for examples. So sometimes I'll go into client houses and they all have the same color towel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, this is so-and-so's hook. That may work if everybody is in agreement, but what if somebody does grab just the first towel out of the shower, or if there's a miscommunication, what do you do then? Like,
I don't think people realize how disgusting that could be.
Right.
And I think they just go with it.
Right. So I see these different habits. I see towels that, maybe I'm there every 2 weeks and I see the same towel. And even though technically it could be washed in between, it's not, because maybe, just maybe, there's something distinctive on it. Like maybe there's like a hair on it.
Or something crusty.
Yeah. It's like you just see something where you're like, wait a minute, the last time I was here, that was here. So anyway, this kind of spurred me to think, okay, over the years, I've seen a lot. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to deep dive into like the research behind it, because I think it's interesting. I think if some people, once you know better, you do better. Some people won't. Some people are like, you know what, I don't want to know. And that's fine. But I think it's interesting to just kind of look at some of this stuff and just see what other people are doing and how disgusting it is. So
Sure.
Anyway, so I looked into some articles, and House Beautiful mentioned a poll that GE did. And it said that 50% of people said they use their bath towel at least 5 times before washing it. And then it said 14% used it 8 times. So how many times would you say you use your towel before you wash it?
I have my own system.
Okay.
So I have like a normal towel that I use for everything except for the swimsuit regions.
Okay.
The giblet areas, so to speak.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't even know when this started. So I'll have a smaller little towel for that, and I'd use it one time, get rid of it. Even though
so you're saying that you need a small towel for that region?
Well.
Are you admitting that to the world right now?
It's short, but it's skinny. So.
Okay, so basically using a washcloth for that area.
Or like
a teeny tiny little.
Yeah, or like a little hand towel.
Okay.
And then this is out of the shower clean, and then just put it in the dirty clothes.
Okay.
That's a little system I've come up with.
So when you say out of the shower clean, how clean do you think you are when you get out of the shower?
I don't know.
I mean, do you think you're truly clean when you get out of the shower?
I'd like to think so, but I'm sure you're going to tell me something horrifying.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Okay, so there's this microbiologist that pops up online everywhere. It's like no one is doing their journalism anymore. I did a little bit more research to try to find some other sources, but a lot of people, clearly this is the bath towel grossness guy. Like if you want to know anything about the germs. But his name is Charles Gerba.
Common spelling.
Exactly. Gerba or Gerba? Do you think it's Gerba?
I have no idea.
Okay. So there was a study done by the University of Arizona, found that 90% of bathroom towels have been contaminated with coliform bacteria, while 14% of them were found to carry E. coli. So, yeah. So obviously, we've all heard of E. coli. And in a minute, we're going to talk a little bit more about coliform. I believe coliform is just so E. coli is a subgroup of fecal coliform.
That's horrifying.
Right. And so here's the thing, too. So coliform is found in the intestinal tract of humans and animals. Its presence in water indicates fecal contamination and can cause diarrhea and other dysenteric symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So Here's the thing. Bacteria and other germs can get sprayed into the air when you flush your toilet. So obviously you're taking a shower in the same room as your toilet, unless you have one of the fancy toilet rooms. But still, it's going into the air. It's circulating. The other thing, so the same microbiologist said, he actually told Time magazine, like I said, he's a pretty powerful resource. He said, after about 2 days, if you dry your face on a hand towel, you're probably getting more E. coli on your face than if you stuck your head in a toilet and flushed it. So here's the thing about hand towels, and I'm just going to tell you a little story. The look on your face. It's not dirty in that way. We all know what you do with your hand towel. Now, let me ask you this. So you're married. You have this little towel for your little giblet area.
Giblet, subgiblatorial region.
Where do you store this? Like, do you switch out your towel every time, or do you have your bath towel / giblet towel hanging there ready for another shower?
So the master bathroom is set up kind of like a hotel. So,
okay,
you have the small little room where the toilet and shower is, but the sink is like out in the common. That's how the master bathroom is there.
Okay.
So we have some wood floating shelves.
Okay.
So there's usually, I don't know, I don't keep a bunch of stuff on there. There's maybe like 1 or 2 of those little giblet towels ready to go, and that's kind of it. So when I need a towel, I just go grab one out of the pile.
Okay. So every time you take a shower, you have a new body towel / jib towel.
Well, so the body towel, I'll use that for like 5 days.
Oh, so you will use that for 5 days.
Just the giblet towel.
You just switch out the giblet towel.
Yes.
What about your hand towel?
So we use paper towels except for the bathroom.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, and we're just talking about the bathroom today. It's going to be pretty fun when we talk about the kitchen.
I don't even want to know. So yeah, little hand towels. I don't know, maybe once a week.
Okay. And it's just you and your wife that use the hand towels?
It's just in the master bedroom. It's just me. She uses the big bathroom.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Kind of have my own little space.
Okay. And so you use your bath towel about 5 times. Does it start to get kind of hard and crusty and all of that, or does it stay pretty soft?
Stays pretty soft, and I wonder, is that any characteristic of the towel itself?
It could be, yes. And that's the thing, too, is that I think it's more important to have a newer, clean towel than having like a really expensive plush towel. Because there are towels that are like $70, $80, and you get like a set of them. But then if they're constantly getting dirtier than what you think and they're not being washed as well as you think, then they're not going to last as long. But one thing that contributes to how well it stays soft is how dry the bathroom gets in between. So do you have like good ventilation?
Yeah, it's got a vent in there.
Okay. And then you like hang it out so that it actually dries all the way. It's not just like crumpled up on the floor.
No, I just kind of, over the top.
Okay.
It has one of those little places to hang it, but I refuse to use it. I just kind of hang it over because no one sees it but me.
Yeah, that's true. So the thing about hand towels that kind of grosses me out, this was the story I was going to tell, was that I feel like every Thanksgiving, Christmas that I go to like a family member's house, there's just this one little sad hand towel in like a half bath. Mm-hmm. And maybe you're there 2 or 3 hours, then all of a sudden you have to go to the bathroom and you go in there and you realize that every single person at this party has used that hand towel. Like,
and
what do you
wet.
do? And it's wet.
Mm-hmm. That's that towel's Omaha Beach. That's a tough one. So
do you use it, or do you just wash your hands and wipe your hands on your pants? Like, what do you do? Because like for me, I'm sitting there thinking like clearly this towel has, and the thing is, it probably wasn't swapped out for the party. It was probably already there as like their normal guest hand towel, right?
Yep. And it's too small, and it's so once I grab the towel and realize that it's wet, I will just leave, go like maybe into the kitchen and rewash my hands with and use a paper towel. That's kind of how I've done it in the past. Same thing if you go to you stop at Arby's and they just have a hand dryer.
Yeah.
So grab some napkins.
And
stick
that's
them
going to
in
be an
there.
interesting episode, is the dryers in public restrooms.
Oh, God. Truck stops.
Get ready for a wild ride. You will never go anywhere again.
Hello, hepatitis episode.
Yes. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. So, and I do this at clients' houses too, where I normally have paper towels because I'm helping them do stuff, and that's just standard. So I'll grab a paper towel, go into the bathroom, and just have it like tucked under my arm.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like a little, a binky, like a safety thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
it grosses me out. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is hotel rooms.
Okay.
Can you imagine where I'm going to go with this?
You think about how much DNA is left in a hotel room.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think people really focus more on the comforters and the sheets and all of that, but then they don't think much about the towels because they're like, oh, well, they just wash the towels, right? So here's a story I will tell you. So right after college, I was actually a cleaning lady at the Holiday Inn.
Nice.
Yes. And I did it for maybe a month. I ended up quitting. I kept getting in trouble because you only have so much time to turn over a room.
Right.
And I would get in there, and obviously these rooms would be disgusting. And there's so much to do, right? Because you have to gather all the towels. You have to change the sheets. You have to wipe everything down. You have to vacuum. No, they didn't like me, like actually going through the whole checklist. They're like, you're taking way too much time. So here's the little thing about hotel bathroom towels is that, first of all, think about where they're stored. They're stored above the toilet, right? So like we talked about before, when you flush and all of that sprays into the air, you already have the towels like right there. So like we just went to, like for spring break last year, we went down to Destin, and the hotel we stayed at was right on the beach, and there was no ventilation in the bathroom. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you not have?
Hotels, yeah, they don't though.
Right. And so it's like, okay, not only do you have, the outside humidity, but then you've got people taking showers. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then when you think about like, okay, so you've got somebody that checks into a hotel room, maybe it's one person. You've got like 4 towels stored there. So what is your impression? Like when you go into a hotel room, do you think that all of those towels are swapped out every time?
I never thought about it until you said that. I mean, I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'll tell you. So basically, and I'm just speaking for one location of one hotel chain, but basically we would just replace whatever was visibly used. Okay, so when we get to like bed sheets and all that stuff, that'll be a whole separate, and we'll do one episode just on hotel rooms. But basically, so if a cleaning person is going into a hotel bathroom and they see, okay, like there's a towel in the bathtub, but the other 3 are still up there, they're just replacing that one towel. So walk through this with me. So basically, you've got one person who checks in. Okay. They use their towel. Mm-hmm. They flush the toilet.
Yep.
They may even touch one of those towels, like even though it's folded, maybe they go to climb into the shower. Maybe they just kind of like grab up there to hold on. But you got to think, okay, that towel is absorbing while it's in there.
Right.
That person checks out, cleaning person puts a new towel up there. Someone else checks in. It's just one person. Maybe they grab that same towel. So now you've got this cycle of these towels that don't look like they're used. But if you have no ventilation, you've got the toilet flushing, you've got the humidity. And that was the other big thing as far as the bath towel itself, was the fact that people get out of the shower, they think that they're clean. And obviously they're not completely clean. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But then they use their towel, they hang it up, and they think, okay, my bathroom is clean, I'm clean, so the towel is going to stay clean. Well, here's the thing. As soon as you use your towel, the countdown begins. Like you have all these microorganisms on your skin, and every time you dry off, they go right onto the towel. Anything that wasn't washed off in the shower goes right onto your towel. Then they begin to multiply. And guess where they like to multiply? Wet, dark, moist areas.
Oh, that's such a gross.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's another thing, too, that I see in my clients' homes. So let's say, and it can be the husband or the wife, but let's just say one of the couple travels. Let's say it's a Sunday and somebody hops, they pack their bags, hop in the shower, hang up their towel, and then they're gone for the week. And they're like, you know what? I just used the towel one time. I'm going to hang it up. I'll use it when I get back. So over the course of the week, you have the spouse that comes in and goes through that whole routine we just talked about. They're flushing the toilet. Maybe they're turning on the vent. Maybe they're not. But all of those conditions are there. Your towel is absorbing all that. And then you come back and like, the one guy said, it's like you're wiping your face on a toilet, especially if someone is using your bath towel as a hand towel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. Why do you and your wife have separate bathrooms? Was it just because you had the space and...
Yeah, because, we can, I guess. I mean, it's not... There was nothing behind that. It's...
Right. Okay. So who is kind of in charge of, like, washing the bath towels or, like, cleaning the bathrooms? Like, do you guys share those responsibilities or?
I clean mine. She cleans hers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how often do you clean your bathroom?
Well, so are you, since mine is kind of like two spaces, like where the toilet and shower is, that little space, I don't know, maybe a couple times a week I'll spray a little bit of bleach in the shower, but and make sure the toilet's clean, but it's really not all,
Okay. And then you wash your towels. You said you go through about 5 uses.
They're about, yep.
Okay. And then you wash your own towels?
I just put it in the dirty clothes and it goes.
And then the Magic Fairy washes them. Okay. Do you know how she washes your towels?
Well.
Do you pay attention?
So I don't know if this is going to add anything, but the real question I have is the soap.
Okay.
Some kind of hippie nonsense that we have these, they're kind of like a stiff looking dryer sheet and you fold it up in the little tray where the soap goes.
Oh, okay.
And it's supposed to, so there's less plastic out there.
Okay.
But it worries me. Yeah.
Does she bleach your towels or do you have color towels or is there anything else other than this mystery?
Yeah.
Mystery detergent sheet?
Yeah.
And I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like it probably is pretty new where does it feel like a dryer sheet?
I've never touched one. I just watched her do it and I was like, what the hell is that?
Okay.
I don't really know.
But your towels feel clean.
Yeah. I mean, it's
okay.
It's the laundry store works fine. It has steam. So I don't know if that's going to help or not, but.
Okay. So some experts say that you should grab a new towel every 2 to 3 uses. So I feel like your report card is already kind of sucky. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
Okay. Does your towel not smell like when you get to day 4 or 5?
No, I don't think so.
You don't notice any difference at all? It doesn't look different or feel different?
No. If I picked it up and it felt crusty, like a teenager's socks, I would immediately get it into the,
Yeah.
So that little tiny room, it's not really super tiny, but the separate space where the toilet and shower is also has a supply vent from the HVAC.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not
so
like
the
a
air
little,
is circulating and it's okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, and it also has a vent, so it's not musty.
The people, I'm just going to say the people. I'm not going to quote all of this. At some point, we'll have a website, and I can put some links up there for people that either don't believe us or just want to go further down that rabbit hole. So washcloths, every use. Do you always grab a new washcloth, or are you somebody that just kind of wrings it out and hangs it up? And do you use a washcloth, or do you wash like a loofah, or do you like a use your hand? Like, what do you use to clean your body? I know this isn't this. We'll do this in another episode, but I'm just curious. Do you use a washcloth?
I actually have a multitude of things, and I switch it up. Like I have 2 separate, like, those wash things on a stick.
Okay, like a loofah,
Sure.
or like a yeah.
And each
It's
one
almost
of
like
those,
plasticky. It's like a thing.
Yeah, and each one of those has 2 sides.
Okay.
And then I also have one of those little, what are they? With the little rubber thing that hangs.
Yeah.
Is that a loofah?
Yeah. Or like a I always call it like a scrubby.
Yeah.
Like Bath and Body Works has those little poofs, like a poof. Is it a poof on a stick?
One of them is. It's a poofy stick.
A poofy stick. Okay.
But the other one is wood, and it has like 2 different bristles.
Oh, okay. So there's kind of maybe like an exfoliation side and then like a sponge side or something.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now my old poof, I had that.
Is that code for something?
No, you wish. And it was a Bath Body Works or whatever. I had that for a long time. You don't want to know how long.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. And I'm sure we'll have we need an episode that talks about all of those like sub products and stuff.
I didn't use it very much though, but
expiration of certain things.
yeah, like 7 years.
Oh, 7 years.
I didn't really use it that much though.
But it was hanging in there.
Yeah. I know.
Oh my God.
I would put soap on it and just kind of squeegee it out.
Yeah.
I really didn't use it. That's why I finally just got rid of it.
Yeah. That's good. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
That makes me I'm going to not be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the people recommend more frequent washing for any towel that has body fluid on it. 1 use. You get 1 use. That's really what they said. Body fluid.
Interesting.
So if you don't have your own giblet towel, gym towels, 1 use. Do you ever reuse your gym towel or a towel you keep in a bag?
That stuff, no.
Okay.
What about a beach towel? Or because we have the pool and people share towels at the pool.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would think 1 use that's going to need to be an episode too, as far as pools and beaches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you also have the toys. So I think that'll fall into maybe that category of.
None of that ever gets cleaned. But I keep the pool chlorinated, obviously. And
You don't wash the pool towels?
oh, yes. I think you meant pool toys. Sorry.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be a single use. Plus, if you go to the beach and there's sand, and that's an obvious 1 use. Towels kept in a bathroom, 1 use. So, like, if some people have that, like, little area that you're talking about where it's, like, outside of the actual bathroom and there's, like, a hook.
Right.
Then you can probably get more uses out of it. But if you actually hang it over, like, a towel bar in your bathroom, then they recommend 1 use. If you have eczema or sensitive skin, 1 use to prevent irritation. So the other thing they said, prevention.com actually said 10% of healthy people carry a pathogenic bacteria like MRSA, which apparently is staph infection, and also happen to have, and if they also happen to have dry, cracked skin or a cut, you can actually infect yourself. So even if you're thinking, this is my towel and I'm clean, I'm the only one using it, you can actually infect the towel, and then the towel can come back and like
Get its revenge.
Exactly, yes.
It's like a Chinese buffet.
I'm glad you said that, because I think that's going to segue really nicely into next week's episode. That'll be the little teaser for that. Okay, so new towels. How often do you get new towels?
There's not really a system for this.
Okay. How long have you, the current towel that you're using, how long have you had it? Do you know?
I don't, because they're all kind of the same. They're like a gray color, like the behind the flag there.
Yeah.
Let's pick them up at Costco.
Okay.
So I'll grab maybe, I don't know, I'll see them go on sale. I'll just pick one up. So
Okay, so you kind of do it like I do it, where you rotate maybe one new one in or a couple new ones.
yeah,
Okay, so then when do you relinquish the older? I mean, do you just have like 1,000 towels now, or do you actually get rid of some of the older ones?
we have 1,000 towels, but some of them will be downgraded use, like to dry off the dog.
Nice. Okay. I like that. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And then those can eventually become maybe dog beds for whatever occasion, back porch.
Yes. Or like to wipe off their feet when they come in. Yes. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We did not rehearse that, by the way. So here's the thing about old towels. I have watched clients, when they finally do let me get rid of some of their old towels, they want to donate them. And there have been times where I have driven to the Will of Good or wherever we're donating and have passed them along. But I would say to people, if you've got that one or two towels that it's like, okay, this towel needs to go, wouldn't you agree? Like, don't donate it. Like, try to repurpose it for something else that you're doing.
Yes.
Like a rag or a junk towel.
Absolutely.
Okay. I feel like this is important to say because I feel like some people think, oh, I'm not going to use it anymore, but a homeless person would appreciate it or someone else would. Like, don't you think it's better to kind of go somewhere and get one of those brand new dollar towels if you want to donate or if you want to help someone else? Like,
absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Well, I understand, and this is something that, you know, as I've received feedback over the years from clients, it's like I think they think this is what I should do with this. I think they feel like, okay, someone else needs to use this as a bath towel, but I just don't. I don't agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they just don't. It's ignorance. I don't think that there's no ill intent. It's hey, this is still a good towel.
Right. Or like I'll take, when I go to clients' houses and I'm like actually going to clean something, I'll take washcloths that I didn't necessarily use on myself, but maybe I use them, you know, like when I dry off a shower, you know, like I've cleaned the shower, maybe I dry it off, but I cut the corner of it so that I know it's a rag, that it doesn't get cycled back in to the other things. And obviously all those towels get washed separately.
It's kind of, you know who else does that, has a similar little process?
Who?
Hold on, I got to think of the name.
Are you calling out a person?
Nope.
Okay.
The spay and neuter clinic in Fishers now.
Oh, okay.
Whenever they get one of those stray cats, they like cut a notch in their ears. So you'll see these strays running out with these notched ears. And like, that's how you.
I thought you meant they have a towel process. I was like, well, this is fabulous. We need to talk to them.
They just kind of cut the ears and you're like, look at that cat with a weird ear. That's how they can eyeball them quick. No, it's fixed.
Oh, and here's the other thing. Don't take your old towels and make them guest towels. That's not right. But it can flip-flop the other way around. If you have guest towels and you never have guests, then you know what? At some point, you need to get rid of your towels and just start using. Have you ever gone to a house and you go to use a towel and there's like a layer of dust on it? That's never happened to you?
Well, when I was a kid, maybe like my aunts.
Yes, that's what the trauma to go to the grandparents' house and like maybe there's like different tiers of towels. And so maybe they don't reach up to like those higher tiers, but then they pull one down for you and like there's a cloud that comes out. So what's funny, and this was part of my research that I found, do you know what a lot of dust is in your house?
Don't want to know.
Well, so today's the day you're going to find out. It's a lot of dead skin cells, by the way. I think a lot of people think that dust comes from outside. It comes from us. Like it comes from our skin. Let's see, where's my little, I'll have to find the exact little quote on this. It has to do with our skin and how often we shed. We shed every hour. Did you know that? Our skin sheds every hour.
Man, you're just knocking it out of the park today with the good news.
Well, I want you to be the first to know.
Yeah, thank you.
You have 19 million skin cells and 650 sweat glands in every inch of your body. 19 million skin cells. So if you literally just take the width of your watch, that little area is going to have 19 million skin cells. And dead cells make up It says the top 20 layers of your skin. I know there's like 3 major layers of skin, but apparently the 20 layers deep is all dead. It's just death.
Yeah, that's
just hanging on. And then, and then let's see. The bacteria that causes staph infection is known to spread on towels and linens.
fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as replacement, you want to replace your towels at least every 2 years. If you're somebody that you're like, hey, it's that time, I'm going to go get like 8, 9, 10 towels.
So washing them like in vinegar, or, I mean, there's just no way to just fully purge them.
So you can use vinegar. That was actually one of the suggestions, was that because apparently part of the reason why towels get like hard and crusty is because of the hard water. And actually, so I work in Indianapolis and I've also worked in Nashville, and it's just amazing how different the water is. We deal in Indiana with hard water way more than some of these other areas. So yeah, you can, you always want to wash your towel in hot water. You know, the hot water is the biggest thing, no matter what. You don't have to use bleach, but hot water definitely. You can use a cup of vinegar, but if you use the vinegar, you don't want to use detergent at the same time. So you don't want to use your little fluffy, foldy, whatever, your little piece of paper that goes in your, you want to do it separate. And then once that wash is done, then you can go back and use detergent.
So what kind of vinegar?
Just regular, like white distilled.
Okay,
vinegar, white vinegar. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do like anything weird. Just
apple cider.
Right. Yeah. No, you're good with just the 79-cent stuff.
Yeah, I'd say it's super cheap.
Yeah. Wash in hot water and dry hot. So you also want to dry hot as well. I'm not a big fan of drying stuff outside. Do you ever do like a line dry? Or I just feel like that, I mean, that's going to attract like pollen and weird stuff in the air. Don't you think?
I don't. We actually do. It's really bizarre. It's hooked onto the house, and you can grab it, and it stretches out to one of the posts.
Oh,
I didn't
like
realize.
One of those little. It's like a metal, or like it's almost like a little metal piece, and then when you pull on it, it has like the wire that pulls out.
I didn't even know what it was, and finally somebody said, "Oh, that's." Anyway, we have a Great Dane, so you can't, because they're just so massive. You put in, you just have it. So.
Oh, like for his stuff? Or
no,
what
like
do you mean, like
if I actually use that clothesline.
Oh, you mean he's gonna knock everything down
and just be out there
like
laying in it, right? Just thinking it's because they're big John Candy dogs, kind of goofy and
yeah. So the last thing we'll talk about is bath mats. Do you have a bath mat?
I do.
Okay. So how often do you wash your bath mat, and what kind of bath mat do you have?
It's nothing fancy. It's
Good.
not like one of the foam ones or anything that's tacky and horrible. It's just kind of the thicker, I don't know what it's made out of.
Is it easy to wash, or is it kind of stiff?
No, it's easy to wash. It doesn't have any like the fake rubber backing and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know. It probably come from Kohl's.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I think the bath mat should just be something that you can easily wash. Because here's the number one thing that I see is you have like this plush, almost like a anti-fatigue type of mat that's like real stiff, and like maybe you can't even fold it, or like really decorative. Especially the mats that go like around the toilet. A lot of people still have those.
My gosh, I can't even imagine. I kind of forgot about those.
And they never wash them.
Oh my
They never
gosh.
wash them. And I'm not trying to call out anybody, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that still do this. It's like, even when you clean the floor, like every time you clean the floor, you need to throw the bath mats into the wash. The bath mat you actually step out onto, like with your bare feet. I mean, you should do that every 2 to 3 showers, like as often as you're washing.
Yeah, you don't even want to know then.
Yeah.
It's probably been 3 months, 4 months.
Oh, since you've washed yours?
Maybe 6, 8 months. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when we get to the topic about bathroom floors, then maybe that will change your mind. Do you ever do the 5-second rule on a bath towel? Like if you drop it on the floor, do you like pick it up and use it?
Sometimes I have been known to switch to the 10-second rule. It kind of depends on how fast I am at the time.
Okay.
So.
Well, just know that if you drop your bath towel, it will immediately attract anything that's on there, wet or dry, anything floating around.
Yeah, it seems, I think the way to maybe convey this is whatever you have that fell, if it is wet.
Yes.
Right. So if it's food or, yeah, because then it bonds with whatever.
Right. Well, so do you feel like you learned something today, or do you feel like you're just really grossed out and now you just want to go sit in your own filth instead of trying?
I'm just thinking about all the other things that people probably aren't washing correctly.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Well, and the number one reason my clients say that they don't wash their bath towels is for the same reason they don't wash other stuff that frequently, is because they hate doing laundry.
It's not that really for me. We don't have a lot of laundry, and we have a humongous, like 5 cubic foot washer. So
yeah. Well, like for me, so, and I think a lot of women will understand this. Like I purposely get white towels because I want to know when they're dirty and when they're old. And I use like a tanner on my skin. So yeah, I mean, but even though I'm like getting my body clean, I'm still going to have that tanner, you know.
Why are you using that? It's like false advertising.
False advertising for what? I'm not doing like a Hawaiian tropic ad or anything.
But people are going to think you're tan. And you're tricking them.
I'm still very light. I'm not fooling anyone. Of all the things to fool, I don't think someone's going to look at me and be like, you know what? I bet she's really dark.
Man, I hope
naturally dark.
If anyone knows Sarah, you need to just go up and just confront her about this.
I'm just saying, like, all that stuff rubs off. It does.
Oh.
Like if you're working in the yard and you get dirty, that towel is a one-time use towel. Like people that do manual labor, which that's me included. Like there's some days I get home, I'm like, I am disgusting. But yeah, you need to rotate your towel. I actually think buying a brand new towel like every 2 to 3 months is probably the key. And like when it comes to the antimicrobial towels or whatever, I think the biggest thing with those is that as they're drying, like as they're hanging and drying, then they're not going to multiply as much. I think a lot of people think it's a self-cleaning towel. Did you think that?
I just thought it was marketing wank, and because it has to be a chemical they're adding to it. And
that's true. Yeah.
That's, as you wash them, you know, it's kind of like BPA free stuff.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of that stuff because it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it.
That's true. Well, and that brings up one, I already said last thing, but this is the last thing. So when you get a brand new towel, you understand that new doesn't mean clean, right? Like you understand that towel has been like in a cardboard box in a warehouse where there have been mice and cockroaches. And do you understand that?
I do now.
Did you think about that before? Did you know that?
I just use them.
Okay. So when you get it brand new, you don't wash it. You're like, it's new. I'm gonna wash it.
It just kind of depends. I don't think I've ever bought a new towel and just put it right in it's dishes and stuff, of course, but
okay.
I don't know that I've necessarily had that policy with towels, but maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Especially towels I use for the pool.
Yeah.
Those I didn't.
Yeah. Well, just, that's something to think about too. It's just because it's new doesn't mean it's clean. So when it's sitting in the back of Target, there are things running in and out of those boxes. I know you're shaking your head. I know. Well, I've worked retail. Have you ever worked retail? Have you worked like in a stock room?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So if anyone will ever let you into a warehouse or a stock room, like just take a look around at the conditions, like how dusty that area is, and just think about those things. Like seriously, like the stuff that sits around overnight, all the people that touch the towel, the people that pack it. Maybe somebody just, they have a cold and they just wipe their nose and then they go to pack your towel Or
That's true.
stack it on the shelf.
No.
Like, well, this is a towel.
But
you know.
there are a lot of stores now that the store is the warehouse.
Yeah.
So you can just, people can go and Costco, Lowe's,
Yeah.
Menards.
That's true.
So,
IKEA.
Oh, that place.
Think about how many people walk through IKEA and they're touching they're lifting it. They're holding up the towel to see if it's big enough. Like, is this going to be big enough for my body or for my giblets?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
Right.
That's why they give you those little tape measures. Just side note, what do you think about the IKEA carts?
Oh, the carts are an episode all by itself.
The 4-wheel steering carts.
Oh, well, they're obnoxious. Oh, as far as how they glide, like side to side. Yeah, that's.
It can be.
It's a runaway.
Yeah, it's kind of neat at
situation.
first, and then you're like, I hate this damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for the kids to sleep in. I know anytime, we go and the kiddo, falls asleep halfway through, it's
little chloroform.
Appreciate that. Something.
That's why you get
It's
out your
just
towels.
the excitement. It's the excitement of all the new stuff.
Is it?
It is. So new towels shed to get rid of excess fibers, and old towels shed because they are decomposing.
That's such a great
So if
word.
your towel is shedding, you have to ask yourself, is it if it's newer, it probably will shed the first 4 or 5 times you use it. I have a bath towel that I get from Target. I'm not trying, if Target ever wants to endorse us, that's awesome. But it's because it has like a little hook on it. Have you seen those?
Mm-mm.
The towel has a built-in hook. So then that way it never falls off of its little thing. Like when you hang it up, it's not like you have to try to get it up over a certain way to where it stays.
It's kind of like a robe. How they have that built-in.
Yes. Yeah. So, little stuff like that is good. But yeah, I would say focus more on getting newer towels, washing the towels you have as frequently as you can. I know a lot of people are concerned about like water usage and all that stuff, but I mean, you gotta, that doesn't mean you're going to waste water. You can do smaller loads, right?
Anyway, and the new appliances, they don't use very much water.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of minimal.
Yeah. So
Actually,
anyway.
yeah, we're not using enough water. It was making our water softener do weird stuff, so I started using more water on purpose.
Yeah.
Hello, hippies. Any hate mail for that? It's Sarah Garrison.
We actually are going to have our own email. I'm glad you brought that up. So we have a y'all dirty email. It's y'alldirty@outlook.com.
Could you spell that?
YALLDIRTY@outlook.com. Y'all dirty. Attention, Eric. We want all the hate mail to go to Eric. But if anybody has questions or if they just want to comment on their situation, I'm kind of interested to see what other people do. Because like I said, I sometimes talk to my clients, but then sometimes it's just observations.
Right.
Right. And so maybe like I'm just, not really getting the whole story.
So did we cover kitchen towels?
That'll be another episode.
So 2 towel episodes.
Yes, but not back to back. Well, I think next week is going to be a little bit more disgusting and a little bit more exciting, if you can imagine that.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there was a hint earlier in the episode where you mentioned something.
Herpes. You started with these community towels and just the worst possible.
I don't think you mentioned that before, but it's probably a good idea not to share towels. I mean, our clip at the beginning, you don't share a towel with your roommate. You don't know where your roommate has been. But it's kind of like people that are couples that try to share drinks or share toothbrushes, which that's going to be an interesting episode is the toothbrush episode.
No chance that's happening.
But I think people think, I touch this person, I hug this person, I kiss this person, so why can't we share a towel? I hope that people realize that just because you touch someone, you haven't sat there in a dark, wet, moist place multiplying germs.
Let me throw this out there,
Yeah.
and I know you're probably not prepared for this, but
Okay, that's fine.
can you look up whatever happened to those disgusting bathroom, the continuous towels? You know what I'm talking about?
Continuous towels.
Like you pull it and you could dry your hands. Next guy pulls it. It's like on a loop.
Oh, like in public, like in rest stops.
Yeah. Well, I think they were kind of everywhere, and then they just were suddenly banished.
I got a little sick to my stomach. See, I wasn't prepared for that. No, because it's like, it's one of those faux paper towels that just keeps rolling through.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. You walk up on it and it's already wet.
Well,
and then but the thing is, you're supposed to pull it down, and there's like a new section of it, right? But doesn't it just keep circulating?
Yeah, it's on a loop. But I was thinking part of the reason it was wet is when it went back in there, it set in some kind of solution.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I could be totally wrong, but
I don't know how those work. But I think that's interesting. I will look that up.
Yeah,
we should make that part of a public restroom episode, because that's going to be its own episode. Because we need to talk about the hand dryers, as far as all of that blowing around germs and disgusting stuff. There's a few studies that I ran across that talk about, they're trying to save paper waste and all of that, but just the level of grossness that has increased from those.
Yeah, hippies they ruin everything. I've said that and said that and said that.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, I want to thank you so much for being a good sport.
Yeah.
And helping me with this topic. And if you think of stuff, now that we've had this conversation, you can bring it up next time. Maybe at some point we'll have like a separate blog where we can expand. And I think we're also going to do a Patreon at some point.
Okay.
Where we can get super gross on some of these topics that maybe aren't appropriate for younger ears. And for the people who are listening in their car or in front of children, just know we want to keep it like a somewhat friendly podcast, but it could end up being more like PG-13 just because of the giblet conversations.
The subgiblatorial regions.
Exactly, yeah. So, again, you can email us at y'alldirty@outlook.com, and we appreciate you joining us. Have a great week.